What's up, YouTube? Hope you're all having a wonderful day. My name is Brett Cap. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys are new subscribers, please like this video, comment below on any future videos you guys want to see. And if you like what I'm talking about and you want to see more videos like that, don't forget to turn on the post notifications. It'll let you know every time I post a new video. This way, once that video is up, you have the ability to go watch it as soon as it's up. Today's video is going to be another one of those that I just sit in front of you and we talk. So I asked you guys on Instagram the other day to submit me some questions about dating advice. Before we start, let me just say I did get a lot of questions kind of dancing on the line between dating and relationships, and I picked a couple questions out that I thought would kind of universally cover some of the other questions that are alike. And I want to be able to answer all of you guys. I don't think you guys want to sit up here and watch me talk for 3 hours, but I would love to keep this topic of conversation going for the future. So if you're interested in seeing these types of videos reoccur, obviously please let me know in the comments. Okay, first question. Really Bad Pictures asks, should I ask him out again if I farted in a really gross way on a good first date? Well, it depends. Okay, farting is normal. We push gas out of our body because of things we eat. It's just part of life. That's what we do. That's how we work as humans. That's how our body works. So if by accident you fart on the first date, but you're really an amazing person, you never really fart. Hopefully that didn't happen. Hopefully it's okay and your significant other is mature enough to understand that that happens once in a while. Maybe if you had a fragrance on, some type of perfume, men, some type of cologne, that might have masked the fart smell, which I think is important to have on you sometimes. So ladies, carry a little bit of perfume in your purse. I know you do. Men, figure out a way to make it work. I know we don't have purses, we have pockets. Figure out a way to make it work, because you're gonna need that, because you know as men, this happens sometimes. So I thought this was really important to talk about, because there are times on a first date where you might have to burp, where you might have to fart, and you don't know what the hell to do. Do you excuse yourself to go to the bathroom? Do you stay there? Do you try to silently let it out without making like a little bit of a noise? Maybe it's a loud place that you can get away with that, but then you run the risk of the smell. My opinion, I just signed up with a monthly subscription service for perfume and cologne. It's called Scentbird. You have the ability to pick from over like 600 fragrances. You try it, you sample it out, and then you could keep subscribing to that and keep getting that service if you want. One scent, you can get 2, or you can get 3 different types. They basically just send you a sample of what cologne or perfume that you like. Ladies, it kind of looks like a lipstick, and men, you can kind of throw this in your pocket, pull it out whenever you need it. It's super easy, it's not something that sticks out. So it's only 15 bucks a month base, but if you want to get more than one product, we all know colognes and perfumes are pretty expensive when you buy them in total. So this way you can have an interchangeable smell. You get a 30-day supply, so obviously if that girl or that guy likes that certain scent on you, you can keep getting it given to you every single month for just 15 bucks, or you could buy the whole bottle. A subscription service like this helps for me because I kind of get the ability to test what I like, and you could keep doing this with the subscription. These I have never seen before, so I wanted to kind of try all 3 of these out. So for the 3 that I got, English Laundry Oxford Blue, this one, and then I got To Me, it's called Unwind. Fuck Mondays by Confessions of a Rebel, that's this one. And they kind of color coordinate so you kind of know which ones are which. So it's a great service and it'll help you out with your flatulence on dates, for dates, in any situation where you want to smell good in front of your future significant other. Jordan wants to know, do you think it's okay to see the person every day if you're really into them? When you're dating somebody, I think space in the beginning is important. This way you can understand if you're craving to see them. If you, for instance, were to go on a first date, and you really like that person. You walk out of that first date and the next day you're thinking about it. I think when we're all in that first wave of knowing, getting to know that person or going on a date with them, putting our boundaries up, counting the red flags if there are any, figuring them out in any which way you can in that little amount of time from that first date, first couple interactions, I think our mind will wander and our imagination will really start working as to the possibilities of the future, or maybe the next type of date you'll go on. Regardless, there's a long list of things that can come from it, but I think it's really important to understand. When you're dating, obviously, you don't want to see that person every single day, but in a relationship, you've moved past the dating part. I personally don't get into relationships unless I think there's a chance that I could be with that person forever. Call me crazy, call me a simp, I don't care. That's the way that I am. In a relationship, you should want to be with that person every single day. Now, of course, you want to respect their privacy, you want to respect their personal life if that's what they need in a certain moment of time. But if you love somebody, you just want to experience life with them, and I feel like you can't get enough of that. Of course, if there's a separation because of a fight or because of a little argument or because you just wanted to get some time with your friends, time away from your significant other is is healthy, but if you're madly in love or you're in love with that person, time away should be rough. I'm not saying that you need to be like up that person's ass, but there's like that level of love, a connection to where you just gotta be around that person a lot, and they do something, they wake something up in you that you've really never felt before. So that's what I envision love being. If that's not happening to you and you're not having this feeling of wanting to be around that person all the time and your time away, obviously a little bit of space is good. I mean, go do your thing, go have a day with your girls, go have a day with the guys, go out for a bar night. You know, the trust is there, the loyalty is there. We should be able to allow our partner or significant other to be able to go out and do as they please with no worries. But the problem is that's not always the case, unfortunately. So, you know, when there's those times that pop up and you're feeling senses of insecurity, I think you should just communicate that. So, as I said, there's a lot of questions that I kind of answered in there, but in totality, with this response, do you think it's okay to see the person every day if you're really into them? Of course. Why wouldn't you want to see that person every day? If that person's really into you, why wouldn't they want to see you every day? Isn't that what love is? And at least in my opinion, if you're feeling like you don't want to be around that person anymore, and it's not year 7 of the marriage, at that point, you're locked for life. So having the away time can be just good to get you out of the house if you have kids and stuff like that. And it's not toxic or anything like that. But if you're not in that type of situation and you're in year 2 of your relationship and your significant other is just literally bothered by you being around, that's a big red flag, and that's something I think you should communicate to your significant other. Figure out where there's a problem, what you could do to fix it, or if this problem, you know, will lie a crack in the foundation of the relationship, which will further in time lead to the, you know, thing collapsing, all right? The only way a true relationship, I think, can really work and flourish is if you guys communicate, you guys are on top of one another in the bedroom and also mentally. It's an important topic to keep alive in your relationship, and I know I've probably talked about this for about 7 minutes now, so we gotta go and move on. But hopefully, Jordan, I helped you out a little bit with that, and hopefully I answered a couple other questions that you guys might have asked me in that response. My next question is from Bella. She asked, how to handle being with someone who is emotionally immature. I personally think the best thing for you to do, if you're handling or you're in a situation where your significant other is just emotionally incapable of understanding your emotions based off the fact that they haven't had growth in the emotional aspect of their lives when it comes to relationships and love and compassion and consideration, respect, all those main things that go into loving another person, you need to communicate that to them. You need to tell them this. You need to talk to them. You need to basically just understand that there's a lapse in the ability for them to be aware of how you feel. In those moments, I think the next time that you feel emotional about something, that maybe you should talk to your significant other, let them know how you feel in the moment, and see if they can kind of catch on to that and mature up based off the fact you're providing them a bunch of information. Now, let's say you've already been doing that. If they're still incapable of seeing eye to eye with you and understanding, then I think that that's a separate conversation that you should have with someone that knows the situation a little, maybe get a little outside perspective, but ultimately allow your mind to convince your heart of what's going on. Sometimes the heart will blind the mind in a way because of things that happen in a relationship, and if it's bothering you to that point, you can't just keep it in. That's one thing I will say not to do. Do not sweep things under the rug. Do not keep feelings in. Try to do your best to be transparent. That's something that a conversation, if the person really loves you, should fix. Now, on the other side of that, before we finish this question, I just want you to know there could be a couple reasons as to why they are being emotionally immature. It could have been something in the past that could be the result of why they handle their emotions in this manner, which is, like I said, something, a conversation. If you truly love that person, a conversation, and just a little bit of groundwork, a little bit of communication, over time, that should change. That really should. So communication should do necessary work for that understanding between you and your significant other. Bella, thank you so much for the question. T-Lo1983, do you think discussing your last relationship is good to do on a first date? I do not. I personally think that the first date should be about you two. If on the second date, third date, you get into more of an in-depth conversation and you want to bring up some things and you feel it's comfortable, you have to be yourself, you know? Like, I don't think that you should hide certain feelings. As long as you're not talking about that person and comparing, because what's gonna happen is that person that you're on a date with is going to think that you are still involved or you still have that person on your mind. If it's warranted in the conversation and the other person across from you is interested, every situation is different, but like I personally don't think it's a good thing to do it on the first date. I think you should really focus on getting to know each other and not talking about your past. That's something that happens when you let the guard down. So I think later in life, when you're with that person, whether it's a month, whether it's a year, whatever, at a certain time, it's okay to let that guard down and talk about that, you know, and talk about your past relationship or relationships. And so that person, not by then, will know that you're with them and you're loyal to them and you're not thinking about anything else. And obviously they will have witnessed your mannerisms and they'll witness the way you are and the way you handle yourself. You'll be far into being with that person. It won't be the first date, and you'll be able to talk freely about your past and help that significant other understand certain depths and certain parts of your ability to love and your ability to be loved, and why you struggle with certain aspects of a relationship based off why you're better at certain aspects of a relationship because of your past traumas or your past situations or the trials and tribulations you went through via relationships, the growth that you've had, the things that you've learned. In those moments, it's okay to talk about a relationship or your past. Trust me, don't do it on the first date. Debbie Will said, don't wear this hat on the first date, as I'm touching my hat now. She's not talking about this hat. She's actually talking about the hat that I wore in the picture to promote this. I personally love this hat, and I would wear this on a first date. If that girl doesn't like me because I'm wearing a certain hat, bye-bye, you know? If someone's interested in you, they're interested in you. Wearing a hat isn't going to get in the way of that. If a girl wants to use that as an excuse as to why she doesn't like you just because she's not interested in you, or a guy, then that's their problem and their inability to be honest with the way they feel, you know, and you. So, Debbie Will, I will wear this hat on the first date, Debbie Will. Always be yourself. And if someone says they don't like you because of the hat you're wearing, or they didn't like the date because of something you wore that you actually felt confident in, just think about that from the outside perspective. Bye-bye. Maliki.ck says, how do you find men that aren't trash? Well, most men are trash, but I would also say, stop looking around in the trash for men. You know? Shulling says, not a question, love your face, good vibes to you always. I love you, Shullings. Thank you so much for the love, I appreciate that. Joe.jak_, sex on the first date. Personally, if you want that relationship to last, I don't think sex on the first date is good. But nothing wrong with a nice one-night stand for two mature adults to, you know, exhibit coitus at someone's nice city apartment or in their house, or maybe in the kitchen, or maybe in the bathroom while the water's running. Your friend's knocking at the door and she's screaming out, she's coming. Sex is very, very mental. It's like this body and mind connection with the other person where in that moment, everything's okay. Everything is amazing. You guys are totally letting your guards down and you are involving yourselves in each other. You know what I mean? And that sounds like so weird and technical and like textbooky. Not to be all sappy and weird, but like you want to build up to that. You want to lead some type of excitement up to that first time. But if, like I said, it's a one-night stand, if it's a one-night fling, you're having fun, then, and there's an understanding of that, then of course, have sex. Sex is amazing when it's good. Mandy, I love you _24 asks, why do guys ghost? Why can't they just be upfront and say they aren't interested? Because men are trash and they're not mature. Rather than face you and tell you that they're feeling a certain way, or you know, they're the same feelings they had when they first were with you, they don't feel anymore. They'd rather ghost you, avoid all of that on the expense of your feelings. I'm not just gonna pretend to like a girl and then screw her over 2 months down the line just because I wanted to have sex. I mean, is that what people are still doing? A real man will be honest with you, will look you in the eyes, will tell you how he feels, and not run away from that moment. Any type of avoidance of face-to-face interaction when you wanna be honest and upfront with somebody is deflection. Like, fuck this guy, he ghosted you, his loss, obviously. That guy didn't deserve you anyway. Crystal Marie asks, how do you feel that Carly threw shade at you in her last vid? Honestly, if she wants to keep throwing shade on our relationship, that's her prerogative. I wish her well. Last question. Food Around the World asks, why are you still single? That's a great question, because I haven't found anybody to travel and eat food around the world with. Nah, I'm still single because, like I kind of said in the first response, I am looking for a woman that is going to wake up something inside of me that I've never felt before. I'm looking for someone I can be myself around at all times. I'm looking for someone who will be judgment-free. Someone that I could build with, someone that I could team up with and not feel insecure about or not worry about if I'm not with them. The loyalty is there, the love is there, the trust is there. I'm looking for someone who will support me and keep me in check. I like a girl that can be a bitch sometimes, but at the same time, that she puts, she knows how to be the proper softness for me, if that makes any sense. Love shouldn't feel stressful. It should be freeing, very freeing. And if you're not feeling that way while you're in being with somebody, then I don't think that's the right person for you. So I'm looking for that. All right, guys, that does it for dating advice. Please let me know if you want to see videos like this in the comments below. And for another video, my name is Brett Cap. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.